8. And jump to verse 11, and then because we'll be talking about how the surprise by God. Genesis chapter 28, verse 11. And if y'all remember where Jacob, he got the blessing from his father, and guess what? His brother Esau was mad and furious, and but there's always something with God. But in verse 11, chapter 28 of Genesis, he alighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took of the stones, talking about Jacob, of that place, and put them for his pillows, and lay down in the place to sleep. He dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. Verse 13. And behold, the Lord stood above it, and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham, thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. Verse 14. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee, and in thy seed, shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Verse 15. And behold, I am with thee. I will keep thee in all places, whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into the land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. Verse 16. And Jacob awake out of his sleep, and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid, and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Verse 18. And Jacob rose up early in the morning, and took the stone that he had put for his pillows, and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it. Verse 19. And he called the name of that place Bethel. But the name of that city was called, I guess it's Luz, at the first. In verse 20, and Jacob bowed and vowed, saying, if God will be with me, and will keep me in this way, that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. Yeah. In verse 22, and the stones which I have set for the pillars shall be God's house, and all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee. Can you imagine how quickly Jacob's life changed quickly? It seems maybe the lies of angered by his brother Esau, and y'all remember whenever Jacob fled from his brother because he got the blessing from his father. Jacob did, and it was supposed to not go to Jacob. It was supposed to go to what? Esau. And if y'all went to chapter 27, verse 41, of course, it talks about, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said to his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. Can you imagine that Jacob received the blessing from his father, but then guess what? His brother, he's mad, angry. Could you imagine what Jacob was facing? Or maybe was thinking, God, I'm fleeing from my brother. Why? Or maybe how concerned is, I'm scared to death. What is my plan now? You know, that what do you have me to do? Have you ever experienced that? Maybe a task or a problem or a situation comes up and you wonder what good is going to come out of this? How is God going to work out of this? And all of a sudden, you might pray about it. And you might be like Jacob, I got to go. I got to leave. Or else my brother here, he's going to hurt me or do more. He's going to kill me. Can you imagine how his life quickly changed? It says that his brother Esau was so much that he was mad that Jacob had to leave his homeland. Resting his head on a rock one night while on his journey, he probably felt frustrated or lonely. Could you imagine being out? I got to leave. I got to go. And all of a sudden you're tired. Where can I stay? There's many times I remember when we were little and we were going to Mexico and to visit family members, and Mom took us kids and for vacation, and we went on a Greyhound bus and we went to El Paso and we crossed over and then it was late. It was maybe midnight. It was where hardly you could see anybody on the streets, and she said, "Oh, we got to find a hotel room." And as a little kid, being nighttime, boy, I was worried. I was like, where? And she said, "Don't worry, we'll find one." And boy, here we walking down the street trying to find a place. And there's many times that I would see somebody walking, I would say, "Ooh, dear, I'm clinging on to Mom." All right, I tell you. I'm like, I don't know that person. And I'm always looking, constantly looking as a little kid. But guess what? We found a place. We went to a hotel room, and the gentleman said, "Oh yeah, we have a place for you." So we went in. Boy, you found relieved. I felt relieved. Oh, good, we found a safe spot. I don't have to worry about strange people walking behind me or scaring me.
He looked at you.
But can you imagine? This is strictly for you. Surprised by God. But can you imagine Jacob? Jacob being in that spot that he's going to have to lay his head down. Maybe he's concerned about what's going on, what future God has in store for him. Maybe Jacob felt lonely. Maybe he felt scared. Maybe he felt frustrated. But then guess what? God spoke to Jacob in a dream and declared that he would father a huge nation. God gave Jacob the name of Israel. And guess what? That name remains until this day, doesn't it? Yeah. The same nation through which Jesus Christ came. We come to closed doors and changes in our lives that tempts us to question our value. Have you ever done that? Question sometimes changes in our lives. We may feel that we're finished while God sees a whole new road ahead of us. God, I'm stuck. I don't quite know what to do. I'm just going to give up. Have you ever been down that road? I know there's many of lost people are on that road.
Amen.
And even Christian people are on that road. And it's so sad. Yeah. And maybe we feel like losers, or maybe we just feel sadness and hurt. Fill in the blank. But God sees us as a diamond in the rough. You know, we might... Have you ever heard that saying that we sometimes are the hardest on our own self? Mm-hmm. You know, we criticize more about ourselves than other people do. I've seen kiddos, "Oh, I should have done better. I should have done this better. You did good. You did that." No, you don't understand. I remember in playing in band in 6th grade, and we'd play 3 songs, and afterwards we'd get down and we'd go find our parents, and our families, and we'll sit down. Oh, y'all did good. And I would say, no, I messed up. I messed up. I did this and that. I said, no, y'all sounded great. I didn't even know you guys messed up. I didn't even know you messed up. But guess what? Sometimes we feel like that, but guess what? For God, He sees us as a diamond and rough. He has a plan and wants to bless you with all those who love Him. And that is true. God loves each and every one of us. You can tell because He sent His only begotten Son to die on the cross for each and every one of us. We can receive strength knowing the Lord is here. Have y'all faced something and you need strength? And all of a sudden you think, how did I do it? If it wasn't for God, there's no way I could have done it. He gives us strength. See, God is full of surprises. When we think that there's a dead end, God makes a road.
Amen.
When we think that a bridge is closed down, boy, another one pops up.
Yeah.
His ways are often unpredictable. Is that true? It is true. Or have you ever had all your ducks in a row, all your eggs in a row? Fine, good, and great. And all of a sudden, they get messed up. But yet, God surprised you through it all. As we walk the journey of faith, we do not know what life will hold in 6 months, or a year, or even more than that. You know, we don't. Just like this church here. We didn't know what was going on in the past, but God has blessed us so much with extra hands to help that's willing. All you have to do is call up a phone. Boy, they're there. It's amazing. And that's all God's doing, pouring out His blessing.
Amen.
What we do, we give God the glory,
Amen.
no matter what. The smallest blessing to the biggest blessing. He gets all the glory.
Yes.
Why? Because I always say this, and y'all know it. Once you start saying the word I, what follows very closely? The S and the N. When you start giving yourself glory, guess what? The S and the N falls close by. That's why we give God the glory no matter what. But we can trust Him with our lives and walk confidently and faithfully in God. See, you never know. Just like here Jacob, fleeing from his homeland, being probably scared or afraid because of his brother. And then what? Lord, what do you have for me? I don't know. Yet he lays down, takes a nap, or he sleeps because it's night. And guess what? God comes to him in a dream. Well, does that mean God will come to me in a dream? He might. Or maybe He will allow someone to enter into your life for a reason. Maybe you will enter someone else's life for a reason. Maybe it's a child, a neighbor, a community. Do you know? We don't. Well, but are you going to be faithful to Him constantly? Might be 6 months, might be a year. It might be longer than that. God, I don't know what you have for me, but I'm going to be faithful to you. Because guess what? God is full of surprises, isn't He? When we think that there's a dead end, He makes a road. When we think that life is, it should be in right now, yet He says, look at me. He makes blessing flows.
Yes.
Tragedies into victorious things that you can imagine. Wow. Especially His Son. He made a path for us to have connection with His Father. Jesus died on the cross for us, for everyone.
Amen.
Amen, because He loves us.
Amen.
God is full of surprises. Just wait and see. Let's pray.